How's it going, Chris?
Good. Just been busy, I had some tech issues on I was supposed to record another podcast before you, and it just, tech issues happen, and you gotta love, yeah, you gotta love technology, right?
Yes, that is exactly it. And that is part of what we're here today to explore some of your podcasting highs and lows because you've been big in that world. And I'm really excited to have you on my podcast today and to hear some of your story and a bit about your business around podcasting, your successes, and all the fun stuff. And then at the end, we're going to do a bit about where you want to go from here. What's next? Because we're always growing and going into the uncomfortable. So let's start with the first one. What's your business? What have you been up to?
I am the founder and CEO of Crispy on the Web Media for almost the last 10 years, which is incredible. November's coming up really quick. November 14th will be our big 10th anniversary extravaganza. We're going to be celebrating, and I think we may be podcasting on that day too. So do a live podcast to celebrate 10 years, you know, as a team. And we basically do blogs and podcasts, and never kind of gone into the world of streaming. We kind of stream a couple times a week on our spare time. I'll go on, play some video games, chat with the fans, and, have some fun. The fun part of the job, too.
Yeah, 100%. And I remember you saying that you'd done a few different podcasts. So you've had some big successes and lots of followers
hmm
over these past 10 years. Do you want to tell me a bit about the diversity? Take a drink if you'd like to
No,
take a drink.
no, it's okay. I'll wait. I'll wait on that. Yeah.
Kind
But,
of the diversity of podcasts and different people you've had on those shows.
well, starting back in 2014, it has been I started from practically the beginning of the podcast. I had a music and talk podcast that with someone that I used to be friends with. That went from like November 18th until like March, and then that was canceled. I had a sports podcast that was up and down. Those are the highs and lows. And in September of 2015, we had Everything But on TV. That took off pretty quick, and we did 265 episodes as
Yeah.
well. And the CBW show was actually it's been on and off since 2018. We did Music City on that podcast, and we did the Power Rangers collaboration podcast on there. And then recently we just brought it back to finish up the Power Rangers, and then we've been doing other stuff. And then, of course, entertainment podcasts, and that's why I still have the red light on behind me. I always put that on when I'm recording the Entertainment Man. So, but it's been such a crazy journey. It's just, everything about the TV ended up with a lot of drama, a lot of haters, and I was like,
Right.
meh. I was like, meh. I'm done. I'm just finished with this, and I was just mentally exhausted too. Because this is very mentally taxing on the body. Doing like 2, 3 podcasts a week. It's so much work.
Yeah, I hear it's really taxing. And what sort of systems have you been using? Like, was there things that you did to make it easier? Were there things that you learned did work or didn't work? What were your takeaways?
I think the my takeaways. What worked was, well, YouTube was good. We actually started up on YouTube originally for everything about reality TV, and then we kind of went off of there. But I think when we went to audio only, just audio only, like no video, no seeing my face on the screen and all that, I think that really helped grow the podcast. And with Entertainment Man, like Entertainment Man, I actually uh started on audio only because I was technically retired from YouTube. I'm using the quotes in my fingers because, it's like I think audio only really got me, gave me that push to get it started. And then, doing interviews in 2022, people say, hey, you should do YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, I was on YouTube at one point. But, the takeaway is I'm really glad I came back to YouTube because it has been such a crazy adventure. Entertainment Man's over 110 subscribers. The CBW show is definitely starting to grow as well. It's just been amazing. It's just been amazing, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my team, proud of Larry and Sadie and the rest of the team that I have behind me. It's been it's been a learning curve over the years.
Yeah, I bet. And I guess having a team would probably have been part of that learning curve. I see
Yes.
you nodding your head. Do you wanna tell me a bit about how you found this team and how they helped support what you guys did?
All right, so going a little bit back in the history, when we first started, we were doing web series, the Intimate Talk Show, which is the inspiration behind my podcast. I had Justin and Larry, and it was just the three of us. We called us the Three Stooges. There were a bunch of goofballs just, in front of a camera working on a set right here in this very studio here. But then Larry kind of laughed for a while. It was Justin and I, and I went on my own for a little bit. And then I started when I did the reality TV. I started bringing some people on, and that did not work out too good. I was accused of a lot of things. I blocked constantly by people. It was crazy. It was just crazy. And I kind of went solo for a while with Entertainment Man. After, like, I ended up bringing that one person back. Then they blocked me, accusing me of things. And I was like, nope, I'm done. After my former friend, she ended up quitting. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go solo for a couple of years. I'm going to still work with Larry. We're going to still do Power Rangers podcast, which is now finished. And it worked great. Like, I think Larry and I are such, I don't know, just, I can't, the words cannot describe how I feel. Larry and I are like two peas in a pod. We used to bicker and fight and block each other all the time, and now it's just completely different. But now we have a COO, Chief Operating Officer, Sadie. She just recently joined because our old COO ended up being fired because of inappropriate things that were said to me. And I got like a director of programming that does like help me program a lot of the shows and the content on our website.
Yep.
And it's just been Kevin's like the head of moderation. He'll deal with all the moderators on our community. So it's great to have a great team like that. It's just been so amazing.
Yeah, that's kinda what I'm hearing is you're like, "Okay, I went through a few people that I was doing
Mhm.
podcasts with, and then I found Larry." And it was like, we went through ups and downs, but we persevered through it, and Larry's my person. Like, 2 peas in
Mhm.
a pod, I love that. I have similar
Yeah.
friends that, like, you can talk and you can have fun on a podcast, and it just works.
Yeah. Larry and I have a big history. Actually, we went to college together.
Cool.
So we have been friends for 14 years as of the upcoming month. 14
Okay.
years. So that's a long time.
That is a long time. That is yeah, that is a good person to have on your team, and I hope you guys do more podcasts together. It sounds like it was really
Definitely. Yeah,
um,
he's talking a lot about when we get back to recording. So he wants to get back to it soon. So I hear him. I hear he's
just say yes. Maybe that's in what you're gonna do next. Maybe that's in the last part of what's coming up. Maybe that's a Larry
definitely. Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
So, how did you find kind of the COO and the manager for everything and kind of those other pieces that you were talking about? Were they previous contacts or did you find them? What was that process?
Okay. So I'll start with my COO, Sadie. She just kind of reached out to me and said, "Hey, is there anything I can help you with?" And she's kind of like, I love your content. Is there anything I can help you with? It's just, she reached out to me and I said, not, we tried to get her on as like just to help out with the Discord server. And it just, it wasn't working. She ended up getting banned from Discord for some weird reason. So she had to do a complete new account on there. And then you got like my managers, you got the head of moderation, Kevin. I know him through friends, through softball and Special Olympics here. Except obviously I'm on the autism spectrum. And Witch Bucket I met online as well. I met him through another YouTuber that is actually a moderator in my community. So kind of met through previous contact with my friend and moderator. So
That's pretty amazing. So you found people in many ways from your community and extended community, and they expressed interest, and you just said, yeah. You were like, let's try this out. Let's see how you fit. And away we go. I love that. Well done. Well done
thank
just
you.
saying yes and being willing to bring people onto your team. Sometimes it's hard going from that solopreneur entrepreneur to, okay, I need some help and I'm going to find the people to help me.
Yeah,
So congratulations.
thank
Congratulations to
you.
that step. And yes, one of my questions is you did say you had autism. I know we've talked about that in the past. How has that influenced your journey?
Just love talking about my journey with autism. I'm going to be doing a autism podcast down the road. I just got to do some research on some of the different types of autism, like PDD is what I have. It's persuasive development disorder. But I love talking about my journey. I've talked about my mental health as well. So that has probably was a lot very influenced by my autism. I like to, help people, those who, have a disability, and saying like you're never alone. There's always going to be somebody out there that's going to support you and help you in life. So a lot of people have even reached out to me sharing their story. People who actually have autism have been on my podcast as well, like, but because they have autism, and it's just been inspiration to hear other people's stories.
That's phenomenal. And what what did you kind of learn? Did you learn some things from their stories and hearing their experience? Did that build on your own experience?
Definitely, yes. It really, really has. I've learned a lot from them. What kind of diagnosis they have. How they're dealing with it on a day-to-day basis. It's phenomenal to hear other people's story. The inspiration too. It's an inspiration to me to have other people with disabilities on, and I've had a bunch of people that has a disability as well.
And that's kind of what I'm learning through my own podcast is that everyone brings their own learnings and teachings into your podcasting space. And that's been my fun, like even in the, I don't know, past 2 weeks, I've had a wide range of like a 17-year-old, like amazing, wise speaker that goes and does speaks and talks everywhere to like someone who ran for mayor in the US and has a thriving real estate business. And I learn something from every single person I talk to. Each and every single one brings something amazing into my life. And just you being in the podcasting space and having done many more than I have, like I can't even begin to grasp the amount of like wisdom and stories and just experiences that you've been part of
Yeah.
over the years.
It's been long, but every day, like I say to everybody, I always say this to everybody in my community. So every day you learn something new. No matter how old you are, you could be 50, 60, 70 years old, you still learn something new every day, which is totally true.
That is exactly it. And how do you find these people to come on your podcast?
Through Matchmaker FM.
Okay.
It's a platform where you can connect with other podcasters, and you can go on their show, they can come on your show. It's a great platform.
That sounds great. Okay.
I'll send you
And
the I'll send you the link after so you can check it out if you want.
yeah, that'd be great. And do you have a specific niche of people that you would love to have on your podcast?
Hmm, that's a tough one.
'Cause I know we were talking about that a little bit
Yeah.
around part of what you'd love to get out of you being on my podcast is
Mhm.
getting other people who would love to be on
Yeah.
yours. And if you could narrow that down a bit, because there's so many
Uh,
people in the world. Who do you
uh,
want?
so I'm thinking, basically, I'm definitely thinking people who want to do like motivation, like self-help is one of them. Businesses, I've done businesses in the past. I've done YouTubers. So
Okay.
basically, those three, I think mostly.
Businesses, YouTubers, self-help, motivation, sort of
Mental health as well. I've
thing.
done a couple of those. Yeah,
That sounds amazing. So if anyone's out there listening and you fall into those categories, this is the man. He would love you on his podcast.
for
That's
sure.
and what's the title of your podcasts? Do you have one at the moment or you have two going on?
Two. Two
Okay.
right now. I have Entertainment Man that's on Sundays at 1 p.m. on YouTube in audio only, and then on Wednesdays it's the CBOTW show, which is every Wednesday at 1 p.m. audio only at the moment. I am expanding to we are expanding the video, but not until January 2025. So
Okay. And the focus of those two podcasts are different.
yes,
What describe the two podcasts and what kind of your niches for each?
yeah. So the niche for Entertainment Man is motivational self help, personal journal. The CBOTW show is basically movies and TV show. Like the motto of the CBOW show is your one-stop shop for movies and TV talk, which I love that model. That's something I came up with in my head.
Yep. No, that totally works. So you basically review TV shows, movies, all of
Yes,
those sorts of things.
yeah. I do like we'll do TV shows. We'll kind of talk about the episodes and the seasons and whatnot. Larry and I did Power Ranger podcast right to 30 seasons. We did some of the movies and specials that they did. We added those in, but now we're kind of steered away from that as it finished. The show's been finished for a little while now, so we're kind of looking into like we're doing movies right now, but next year we're hoping to get into our next big project.
And what are some of the ones well, two questions. What are some of the ones you've done in the past other than Power Rangers? And what do you know that's coming up in the future that people should be watching out for?
So we've not really done any TV shows. We kind of steered away from the TV shows for a little while. We kind of taken a break, but we've done all the vacation movies, minus the 2015 reboot of Vacation. I've done Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. I've done, you know, Home Alone 1 and 2 with Larry. I've done like Friday the 13th during the spooky month of October, which I love doing that every year. Just a little bit of a spooky as kind of theme to the podcast.
Yes.
Coming up, we are actually going to be working on a series called Ghost Rider, and
Okay.
that was done in the 1990s. I think it's New York City. That's where it was filmed in. So I'm looking forward to that. I have a couple of collaborations coming up. Friday, I'm going to be collaborating with Mary from Mac and Cheese Podcast. Her and I are going to be talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a great
Oh,
movie.
love that.
I love those movies.
Nieces and I have watched all of them. Last one was a little sad, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
100%.
I gotta watch the third one, the third and final one again. I've seen it once, and I'm gonna be collaborating with my friend Isaac from Fun Football Podcast. We're gonna be talking about like top 5 or top 10 favorite Bill Murray movies.
Okay.
And then also I got one with Bob talking about Corner Gas, which is a series
Yes,
here in Canada. Yeah, Canadian, very Canadian content. Yeah.
I loved that series. Okay, so cool. So as part of yours, it sounds, at least to me, that partly what you do is you let people know about fun things that they should be watching. Canadian, fully support that as well, being a Canadian myself. And then for your reviews, like I guess that's part of my curiosity around what you do. What do the reviews sound like? Is there like a structure to it, or is it just talking about whatever comes into your space in regards to that movie or series?
It's kind of like the different things that have gone on in the movie or the series, kind of recapping the episodes. Usually, typically, we try to keep it around like 30 to 40 minutes. It's not very long. We used to do like 1 or 2 hours back then, but that's like, nope, we're not doing 2 hours anymore. I think the furthest we've gone is like 2.5 hours. So it was a long one, but mainly, yeah, the recap and talk about the episode's favorite moments and whatnot.
Totally fair. I love that. And going forward, we're talking about future, so I know you'd like to do more with Larry's and more of those sorts of review, and there's some fun new shows coming up. What else? What else is in the works?
So in the works, we are actually going to be doing a lot of events. I'm going to be going to a lot of local events with my dad, and I do a lot of traveling to local events, some in Toronto as well. We are going to be going to Orno Fair coming up. That's the second week of September. That's always a lot of fun. We love the and then I have the Apple Festival over one town over here in Bowmanville. So got that. I got the Royal Winter Fair in November. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. That's a big day. That's a long day for us, but it's worth it. And then December, I have the Tyrone Parade of Lights, and I have the Berry Market in November. And then December, I said what? Oh, I said the Tyrone Parade of Lights. Also, the Christmas market in Toronto.
Okay. And at these events, like the physical event, what are you doing? Are you getting people on your podcast? What's your
It's a blog, actually.
Okay.
It's a blog, chrisbealtheweb.com. Front page, as soon as you enter my website, you see blogs all there. I do it every day, sometimes on Saturdays as well. It depends how busy we are, but we do blogs about the events. We talk about it, our experiences. We talk about the whole event in the entire. We need to do a lot more since COVID. We've kind of been scaled back a bit.
That makes sense. And I mean, personally, Winter Fair is one of my favorites.
hmm
Do you know some of the highs and lows of this coming festival
For the Royal,
for the Royal? Are you still in research mode?
I'm still in research mode, I think. But
That's totally fair.
yeah, I need to schedule it with my dad because he's leaving on Thursday, so he's going on a canoe trip. So I gotta get that booked and see if I can get the media pass I can wear around my neck. Go really official, yeah,
You can go say hi to all the horses and get their perspective.
yeah, exactly. It's a fun event. It's been a tradition for well over 20 years with my dad, so I'm gonna keep that tradition alive after he's not around anymore for sure. That's gonna be traditional every year, so
That's
I
right.
enjoy it. Yep.
Maybe I'll see you there this year.
Yeah,
That'd be
maybe. Well,
Well, do you have any last words
not
before we
really.
head
No.
out? What would you like to leave people with for
Mm.
podcasting? Should people get into it?
Yeah, people should get into it. I know it's a lot of work, and you know, honestly, I would start audio only. Audio only is probably the best way to start. Do like 2 years, like I did with Entertainment Man, and then get into YouTube and start building yourself up. And one thing I could say about you podcasting, so you actually can put your RSS feed on the YouTube channel, which is fantastic feature. A former friend of mine, told me about that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And it was a saving grace for me. It really got my views up doing that. So
Well, thank you for all the learnings and all the teachings. And if anyone wants to be on Chris's podcast, motivational or movies and series, your passion, I'm sure we can make some connections and make it happen. Thanks for being on my podcast today, and we'll see you at Royal Winter Fair, if not before.
thank you for having me on, for sure.
Take care, Chris.